Is Pakistan about to attack India? Take a look at these videos released by the Indian Army itself. In these videos, captured by Indian fighter jets and satellites, you can clearly see the locations of Pakistan's terrorists that were destroyed in Operation Sindoor by the Indian Army. After this operation, the terrorist hideouts were left in ruins. Buildings have completely collapsed. The enemies planning to attack India have been buried under concrete rubble and eliminated, with Pakistan's forces scrambling to dig them out. And the best quality videos of these missile strikes, they've come from Pakistani people themselves, showing clear footage of Indian missiles hitting Pakistani locations at night. So, how exactly did India conduct Operation Sindoor? Which Pakistani locations were targeted? Why did the Indian Army choose these specific places? And most importantly, before this operation, the Pakistani military and politicians were constantly threatening India and the world with nuclear war. After Operation Sindoor, the chances of Pakistan launching some kind of attack on India have only increased. Pakistan will use the full spectrum of power, both conventional and nuclear. What kind of attack could that be, and what options does Pakistan have? In today's video, we'll talk about Operation Sindoor and what Pakistan's response might be in the future, and figure out what's really going on. Take a close look at this map. It marks 9 main areas in Pakistan and Poke, Kotli, Bahawalpur, Muzaffarabad, Sialkot, and surrounding terrorist zones where the Indian Army carried out missile strikes on exact coordinates. A total of 21 terrorist bases were targeted one by one. According to reports, over 100 terrorists were killed in these retaliatory strikes, including multiple family members of Masood Azhar. The Indian Army released rare videos showing satellite imaging and thermal visuals captured by fighter jets from this side of the LOC. These visuals were enough to prove this wasn't just a symbolic move, it was a surgical execution. This was a response to the terrorists who, while killing Indian citizens, said, "Go tell Modi." And Modi's response? This video of Pakistan's destruction and the dots marked on Pakistan's map that they'll never forget. On the night of May 7th, 2025, at 1:35 a.m., the Indian Army posted a tweet meaning "ready to strike and train to win." This wasn't some decorative message. It was a coded green signal. Within minutes, the video that popped up on my screen was clear. It was war footage. Real-time missile strikes were hitting terrorist areas in Pakistan and POK. Fireballs, explosions and screams. This wasn't CGI. This was the start of Operation Sindoor. The Indian Army, Navy and Air Force launched the operation at 1:04 a.m. The first target was the Abbas terrorist camp in Kotli, hit at 1:04 a.m. 4 minutes later, the Gulpa camp was struck, and at 1:11 a.m. the Memona Zoya camp in Sialkot was blown up. All of these were suicide bomber training and logistics centres for groups like Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba. ISRO's thermal satellite images and high-accuracy drone surveillance verified every location, and the strikes were carried out by Indian fighter jets from the Indian side of the LOC. On the morning of May 7th, at 10 a.m., Foreign Secretary Vikrant Mishri, Colonel Sophia Qureshi, and Wing Commander Vamika Singh said in a press briefing that this strike was for the 26 people killed in the Felgam terrorist attack. They confirmed that 21 identified locations were targeted, including Sawai Nala, Sayyidna Bilal, Maska Aska, Chalabandi, Abdullah bin Masood, Dulai, Gari Habibullah, Batrasi, Balakot, Ogi, Boy, Sonasa, Gulpa, Kotli, Barali, Dungi, Barnala, Bamunazoya, Sarjal, Murid K and Bahawalpur. Fighter jets neutralized all these targets with high-precision weapons. Within hours, the Indian Army released official videos clearly showing thermal heat zones, impact visuals and drone view targeting locks. The Ministry of Defence made it clear that this mission was focused and non-escalatory, meaning no Pakistani military bases were touched. Only terrorist infrastructure was eliminated. The strike on Bahawalpur was considered the most symbolic because it was home to Masood Azhar's indoctrination headquarters, Markaz Subhan Allah, with over 600 new recruits in training. After the operation, Masood Azhar himself admitted that 10 close family members, including his sister, brother-in-law, nephew and niece, were killed in the strike. Pakistan predictably went into denial mode, claiming no Indian aircraft crossed the border. But the very next day, funerals for terrorist commanders were held in Rawalpindi and Lahore. Viral social media videos showed Pakistani army, ISI and police officers giving military salutes to the terrorists, and that fact alone was enough to completely expose Pakistan's denial. Journalist Hamid Mir tweeted, "If ISI camps aren't safe, who will save the common Pakistani?" Eventually, Pakistan had to admit that India had struck them at home. According to the Pakistani Army's official spokesperson, the strikes caused 31 deaths and 46 injuries. But Indian intelligence sources believe the actual terrorist death toll is over 100. In India, the media and public called this operation South Asia's sharpest and most precise strike. On Twitter, #Operation Sindoor trended. Rahul Gandhi wrote, "Proud of our Indian forces." S. Jaishankar said, "The world must show zero tolerance for terrorism." Former UK PM Rishi Sunak justified India's right to self-defence, saying there can be no immunity for terrorism. Global media houses like CNN and Al Jazeera showed strike visuals. UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy condemned the Felgam attack while appealing for restraint. Israel, Japan and the US supported India's right to defend itself while emphasising diplomatic solutions. Donald Trump even said, "I know both sides, and if I can help, I'll be there."